Are you ready for some sugar and spice? I sure hope so. I'm Mary Beth and welcome back to my kitchen. Today it is a chilly day in North Texas and it sounds like a great day for soup for me. So I am going to make an easy chicken tortilla soup. Here's how I do it. I kind of got started a little bit before you came. So in the pot I have a couple of carrots, a big onion, some jalapeno, and I sauteed all of that in some olive oil. And to the pot, I'm gonna add some garlic, but I'm gonna give it a touch more olive oil just because I wanna make sure that the garlic is gonna have something to kind of cook in, because it's been on a few minutes. The technical parts with doing the video kind of have gotten me a little bit crazy. So the garlic is in there, and this I have over medium-high heat, and I'm gonna let this cook for just a couple of minutes, okay? You guys know me, I like to have things pretty easy, and this soup you can do start to finish in less than an hour, which is great. Probably 45 minutes is great. If you know how to chop an onion, or a carrot for that matter, you know how to open cans of tomatoes, you can do this all on your own. I used a rotisserie chicken, so that made it super simple. And it really has a lot of depth of flavor for being such a fast cooking soup. Okay, so you can kind of hear this sizzling a little bit. I'm just gonna stir all these vegetables together. I'm gonna give this just another short little minute, not even a minute, probably 30 seconds. And then we're gonna start combining and dumping everything in. So I grew up in Florida, and in South Florida, we did not eat a whole lot of soup, or at least my family didn't. But when I moved away to Texas, I'm like, oh, the winters get a little cold. I think I better learn to make soup. So I started a couple, and over the years, I have grown to love to make soup. I love to make soup when it's cold, and sometimes it's just like whatever's in the refrigerator. Sometimes it's something planned out like this. But soup is super simple, and if you live in Dallas, this week you're gonna wanna make soup. Okay, so let's take you back here for a second again. So this has a little bit, the carrots have a lot of color on it. I actually started the carrots first because they're hard, right? So I chopped up the carrot, I put on my stove, my pot, I put olive oil in there, I put the carrot in first. I went back over to the counter, I chopped up my onion, I chopped up my jalapeno, and then I threw them in here. And the onion and jalapeno probably cooked for another probably 5 minutes. Now I've added the garlic. It's been on there, minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that. And it's gonna be ready for everything else. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna start with 8 cups of water. Sorry if this is making noise for a minute, hold on. So I've got 8 cups of water. To that, I'm gonna add cans galore, okay? First thing, the original flavor of Rotel. So that's diced tomatoes with green chilies. Dump the whole thing in there. Next, black beans. I drained it. I'm gonna dump all of the beans in there. This is like so easy. Okay, next, a can of corn that's been drained. Dump the whole thing in there. And my last can are diced fire roasted tomatoes. This one doesn't have garlic in it. Some of them do. But those tomatoes are gonna help to build a lot of flavor. Okay, I've got 1 rotisserie chicken that I chopped up. If you prefer to use shredded, you can do shredded. If you buy the rotisserie chicken, that's fine. Just shred it while it's still warm. My family prefers more like chopped. So I have 1 chicken that's chopped. Now I'll tell you, if you like to smoke meats outside, smoke a chicken, wow, that really gives this even more flavor, and that's really good. But for something quick, I went to the grocery store 15 minutes, be able to pick up all these things and be able to throw this together in another 30 to 45 minutes. That's an hour's time. I'll take the rotisserie chicken on a cold day. So I'm gonna dump the whole chicken in there. And then let me see, what else do I have? I need to get some seasoning going in here. You know me, I like to season as I go. And I did put probably 1/4 teaspoon of salt and maybe a little bit less of that of pepper while I was sauteing those onions, okay? But now I'm gonna put in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. This is kosher salt. And I'm gonna give about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And then I am going to, cumin. I need cumin. Cumin is great for Tex-Mex flavors. And I need to have, oh, that's teaspoons. I need tablespoons. I'm gonna put 3 tablespoons of cumin into this soup. 1, 2, and 3, okay? And then I have chili powder, and chili powder I'm going to do probably a heavy teaspoon. That one's a heaping teaspoon, okay? And I have the salt and pepper in there, and that's good. That's good. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take this soup, I'm gonna turn it up so that it comes to a boil, okay? After it comes to a boil, I'm gonna turn it down so it's just not boiling crazy, but a nice, good, warm cooking, maybe over medium low, depending on how your stove is. And you're gonna let this go a couple of times. You can stir it, you know, every 5-10 minutes whenever you walk past. As long as it's not boiling over, you don't have to like keep super close tabs on it. And when it's done, you're gonna spoon it up. By the magic of TV or something like that, I have some soup, okay? And I'm gonna show you how to top it, all right? So the only thing different, and listen, tortilla soup is supposed to have tortillas, right? And I get that, and I get that, that's fine. I didn't have tortilla chips at home, but I did have some corn tortillas. So what I'm gonna do is I have a little pot of oil. This is just not even a 1/2 inch of oil in the bottom of here. And I took some corn tortillas and I chopped them up, right? So they're little strips. And into this oil that is hot, I'm gonna test it by throwing one in. Oh, actually, I don't like that, it's not hot enough. Let me get this heated up a little bit more. I thought I was good, but I wasn't. Okay, sorry about this, everybody. Okay, how about I tell you the gist of it? So you're gonna take the little slices of corn tortilla you're gonna take them and you're gonna throw them into a pot that has just a little bit of oil. And literally this takes a minute. It doesn't even take a minute. You wanna get these corn tortillas crispy. And then use something like a spider or something to pull them out of there. Throw them on paper towel, and you can put that on the top of the soup. But what else you can put on the top of the soup, which I think is key, is some cilantro, right? Some fresh cilantro, and then an avocado. For those of you who aren't so familiar with cutting an avocado, the grocery store had small avocados. So I just cut it in half like this, take the edge, of a sharp, now this avocado is really ripe, but take the edge of a sharp knife and you can bang it into the avocado when it won't come out on its own. And then just take and dice up, or not dice, slice up a couple of slices of avocado and put that on the top of the soup. Let me get one more here. That's a lot of avocado, but that's not a bad thing. And this is a really teeny tiny avocado. Oh look, my oil is ready. So let me throw in these, give them a fast stir. So this is a little bit crazy because like the timing of everything isn't in the order that I had planned, but we're gonna make do. Take a lime, go back to your bowl of soup, give it a little bit of a squirt of this, and then let me get these tortilla chips crispy, and I'll throw them on the top and I'll give it a try. And like, this is all there is to this soup. Like, how easy is this, right? Obviously, my soup that I'm like started from scratch with you all is just starting to come to a boil. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting close. And then I just have to like come around and stir this a couple of times. And when it's done, top it with some tasty toppings and you've got dinner. Like, how easy is that? And how great is that, especially on a cold night like this? So I'm gonna take some of this soup that I'm making, and I have a neighbor and her daughter who have kind of had a rough day, and I am going to drop off some soup in containers, and I'm gonna give them some limes, and I'm gonna give them avocado, and I'm gonna give them some of the crispy tortilla things, and some cilantro, and let them have a warm dinner tonight. And kind of like sharing some love, right? And I will have dinner for my family, and that will be wonderful. So here I have my tortillas are done. If you want, you could always take, and while the tortillas are hot, throw a little bit of salt on them if you want. If you don't want, that's fine too. And then take the tortillas and top the soup with just a few. It doesn't have to be many. And let me show you. Okay. Whoops. Here is my completed soup. Okay. So I've got lots of good vegetables in there. I've got beans in there, carrots, onion, corn, all that good stuff. Obviously lots of tomato. And let me tell you, you will be so surprised. This has such great flavor in it. I mean, it really is good, and it really is flavorful. One of my favorite Tex-Mex restaurants in town is La Hacienda Ranch, and they make a chicken tortilla soup, which is excellent. But I'm telling you, this is pretty darn close to it. I'm pretty impressed by it. I hope you will try it. And if you do, please tell me, what do you think about it? It would be great to hear from you. Remember, for sugar and spice and real estate advice, you can always call MB. I'm Mary Beth Genovese with Home Smart Stars. I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.